Number 1. Reaction time. It's common knowledge that the faster you try to finish something, the less accurate or correct it is. A hastily written paper isn't nearly as good as one written carefully over a couple of days. Food cooked quickly usually isn't as good as food cooked correctly. Number 2. The avatar effect. Half the fun of playing video games is personalizing and customizing an avatar. Games like Skyrim and Pokemon X rely on players customizing the characters to look like themselves to make the game more lifelike and personal. But what does this do when we play violent video games? A study by the University of Sussex and the University of Innsbruck found that personalizing an avatar increased a person's level of aggression when playing violent video games. Number 3. A special emotional reaction. Many people have become attached to certain video games, and it expresses itself in all sorts of crazy ways, from buying extensive video game collections to killing other people in the name of video game characters. This isn't shocking because people were obsessed with book and movie characters before video games even existed. Number 4. Self-esteem. Everyone has a favorite character, whether it is from a book, movie, or a video game. People write fan fiction, draw fan art, and even dress up as their favorite characters. Thousands of people cosplay as their favorite characters at conventions around the world. Heck, professional cosplaying is now a legitimate way to make a living. But what are the effects for growing attached to someone who isn't even real? Number 5. Regulation of emotions. It's no surprise that video game therapy is now considered a legitimate form of treatment. After all, equine therapy has been an effective form of treatment for a long time. If animals can help people overcome mental issues, why not video games? Number 6. Aggression. There has been a media storm that links violence in video games to mass shootings. Although studies repeatedly show that video games increase aggression, it again depends on the context. If you are playing a hero, you are likely less aggressive than someone who plays a villain. Number 7. Desensitization to death. Video games opened up new worlds and let us experience things that would be unthinkable in real life. In video games, we save worlds, play the hero, and go to fantasy worlds that we never thought possible. We can form heroes, save or topple nations, and discover truths about the world and ourselves. We can even die and come back to life, repeatedly. In some games, characters' deaths are essential to the story. Number 8. Moral sensitivity. Morality. Video games are a relatively new idea. In the game, you can choose whether to be good or evil, and your choices affect the end of the game. As of early 2016, games like BioShock and Undertale have some of the best reviews and are surging in popularity. The idea that the entire game's story will change with every decision is appealing to players. But how will it affect behavior? Number 9. The Bystander Effect. The bystander effect is one of the darkest things that humans naturally do. Starting with the murder of Kitty Genovese, psychologists discovered that if there are more people in a given area, it becomes less likely that one of them will help a person in trouble. Most people assume that someone else nearby will take care of the problem. Number 10. Sibling Relationships. In 2015, Brigham Young University conducted a study to determine how playing video games together affected sibling relationships. They had brothers and sisters report how often they played video games, how often they played with their siblings, how often they had conflict with their siblings, and how they would rate their sibling relationships.